Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo, today you're joined by me, Daniel, and I'm chatting to you today. Welcome to my YouTube channel, my YouTube video. This was streamed on Twitch, and then it's exported or put onto YouTube afterwards. And that depends as well, like when it goes up. It usually goes up on Saturday morning because the usual time I stream is Friday night, but it depends. Sometimes I have later streams that end up going on Sunday night at the latest. It all depends. Like I have artists in usually. At the moment, it'll be just me for the next probably couple of weeks till after the New Year stream, pretty much, and then we may have an artist in after that. I'm not 100% sure. We have to kind of hunt someone down to do it, and also because of the whole Christmas period and things like that, a lot of artists and just people in general get busy anyway because of the whole Christmas things coming up. Go see family. Some people like have time off like work and time off doing some art illustration stuff or go on holiday or something like that. I pretty much for myself, I'll be working on this YouTube channel, taking a little time off work, doing some more illustration stuff as well, hopefully, and yeah, just working on this channel and things like that. Yeah, it's been quite interesting. This YouTube channel. I bet had some, awesome people this year that I've chatted to so far, and I discuss that kind of thing in the New Year stream. Like how many people I kind of just talked to this year, and the videos and things like that. Kind of today's topic, I wanted to chat a bit about like keeping moving forward and always moving forward and things like that, because I'm kind of person that I'm always kind of moving forward. Doesn't there are times that I do kind of I might say dwell on something, or have a bad day or bad mistake, or someone says a bad comment or something, and then that cause me to stop, or it causes something. But most of the time, usually, I'm always like moving forward, going towards my goal. I make a mistake and I keep moving forward. That kind of motto, kind of personality I have. I don't kind of make a mistake and then kind of give up, or stop going towards my main goals, even if those main goals get more challenging. For instance, like me in my course doing my book, there were so many times that I was like, I'm not going to get this done, but in the end, I managed to get it to a point I was happy with for that project, but obviously there is going to be things I could have done better, and with more time I could have got the paintings way better. I could have got some of the book binding and everything like that better, and everything would have been better, but I did what I can with the time I had, and I've moved forward from then. I can go back and illustrate over them. I've got all the rights to kind of do that. It is time. It comes down to time as well. I mean, for instance, this book here, it's a book that I wanted to get out, and this year I've made it to finished kind of page 6, which it's took me a long time. But I've gone through it, and I've done some other side projects during this year. I've had some other paintings and creations on this year, so I definitely think I've done well. I've gotten quite a while through my book, and I'm still going through it. I'm still moving forward on it. Still, creating it and things like that. So that's the main thing. I haven't um, I haven't given up. I haven't been like, well, I've done all the 14 pages. That's me. I've kind of done what I set out to do. I actually want to, take it further. I have the 14 pages done, but now, I want to really tweak it up, make it look good, make it an actual book that I can print, and it looks like an actual book, and it would, would actually fit on someone's shelf. Even if it does, take me quite a while to do. If it takes me a while, I'm not too worried. I'm not in any rush to be like, it needs to be done, you know needs to be done tomorrow, needs to be done within 6 months or something. 6 months is a long time period. I should have it done by that. I kind of, I think that sometimes, like, looking back at the start of this year, I was like, oh, in 6 months I'm hopefully have this book finished, and then I'll be happy and blah blah. But that hasn't really occurred, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm not too fast. I'm moving forward. I'm keeping going with it. Even if it does take me a while. I understand. I've got work. I've got life and other things I want to be doing as well, not just this book. And it's not like I'm not spending any time or not illustrating and creating this book. I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the effort, at least like 30 minutes a day at the slowest. Sometimes, 2 or 3 hours. Some days I've had more than most, and most days, some days I'd wake up like really early in the morning just to get a few hours of painting done, and get this going. And I still move forward, I still keep it going, even though that, it seems daunting, such a big project. I'm still working on it. I'm not worried about time period, because, it's my own pace, there's no rush. And yeah, there's always going to be like blows and falls and things. I discussed this in another video. Always like getting through like falls and things like that that I've had in the past. Like, for instance, me getting sick or something, and then having to stop painting for like a week because of my health. Have to sleep and just kind of get through working and paying the bills and things like that, and having to just stop painting for a little bit, just because the same kind of when I had a bad sore arm from drawing a lot, because when I was doing my children's book, my Junkyard Adventures, I was drawing or painting at least like 8 hours a day at least. So my hands were constantly moving. Eventually, my hands got really, really sore, so I had to kind of have a break. I was doing like rotoscopy at one point, and with the rotoscopy, it was a full-on animation. We had to do it within like 2 or 3 weeks or something. Or I had 2 weeks to do it or something, till it was due. I think we had like 6 weeks to do it. Usually we had about 6 weeks to do a project, dependent. So, that's including all the like research and the idea generation, and then actually creating the product and whatever you're doing. So it had like, I would say 2-3 weeks to actually produce the animation. For you, the guys that haven't done animation, you might not know so much of the heartache, but for just to get like, I think we had to do like a minute video, but just to do say 1 second or something, it would take like 3 or 4 hours of just moving the image. I would have to move the image a little bit, save it, move the image a little bit, save it. And this wasn't the only project I was doing. I was doing that, and I was doing some design stuff as well. I can't fully remember, and some drawing stuff. But I would be like 3 or 4 hours doing that. But eventually, you know, that turned into one of my only projects, I think. Or one of the major ones at some point. So I was doing like 8 hours of just animating all day, and eventually, you know, it got to the point where I had to kind of do as many hours as I can, and then like even walking down the street, you know, I just felt, and yeah, I just had to, I got through it, and eventually I had to like take a couple of days just to recover from it or things like that. So yeah, it was a really challenging time to get through. Um, but I just, you know, planned on what I was going to do, because I was like really sore from sitting down and animating all day, for like probably like 12 hours a day ish. Yeah, it was a little bit more than 8, but yeah, it was a long time for me to be sitting on the computer animating all day. I was having breaks, but yeah, it was very kind of hard. It felt, you know, my whole body was aching at that point. I was trying to walk down the street, and you know, my legs were just killing me. So, you know, I had to, you know, you make a plan of action as you move forward, with everything you do, and I do all the time, you know, with every stage, of, you know, my life, my kind of career, and even creating this book at the moment. At every stage, I'm kind of evaluating where I am. I am, you know, deciding the next thing to move forward with. Do I need, you know, sometimes do I need to like have a break from it or do something else for a little bit because I'm sick of it. You know, I still want to paint, still want to create stuff, but I'm getting kind of sick of painting grass all the time, or painting leaves all the time, or painting the hedgehog and the cat all the time, you know. So, you know, it's deciding what's my next move forward. You know, I do want to get this book kind of finished and completed, but is it that I'm getting so sick of it, I'm not actually doing it, you know. So what's my next route forward? What's the next thing to do, that will still get me towards like my major goals, and you know, still get what I want achieved, with me still being happy, and those kind of things, and still moving forward. Yeah, and you can only do so much. I mean, with me, I've only got so much time to do my illustration stuff at the moment. Probably, you know, roughly I say around about 20-ish hours a week, ish, you know, somewhere around there. Yeah, it was funny the other day I was watching the South Park, and they would be like, "Oh, we'll get there in a time frame of between like 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and then turn up at like 5:15." You know, I say, you know, there's 20 hours there, but sometimes, you know, some weeks can be just about 5 hours of painting and creating stuff. Obviously, there's other things to do that's on top of that. Like I said, I broke it down in one of my videos. I broke it down, where, you know, I have about 20-ish hours a week, to do this stuff, but I also have, you know, I have weekly tips, recordings to do in there. I have these videos to, you know, edit together, produce, and get ready for export, and export them. then, you know, I have this stream, which is like 45 minutes. I also have, well, it's around about 45 minutes. I have Tuesday stream, but that's me painting, so that's okay. That's actual time where I actually have to kind of paint for those 45 minutes, which is great to have. We'll get back to that. And then, you know, I've got to do like the thumbnails, the sharing on social media. I've got other stuff like emails and stuff like that, just, you know, general stuff. There's might be some emails of someone wants an illustration job, or just something to do with maybe social media or things. So always checking on that. They help me get like find some new works to apply for, and things like that. I always have ArtStation. That's a great way to find jobs online. I always apply to some jobs through there, but I can only apply when I've got time to apply for these jobs at the moment. I've got to keep moving forward, keep creating. I definitely want to, you know, be a full-time illustrator, but you know, this is very important. You know, me getting my stuff done, getting my stuff out there is very important. So, you know, I've got that too. I kind of, if it's gonna be like challenging if I do get like a full-time illustration position, because I probably still want to keep this up. So, you know, how that would go as well would be interesting. I think, you know, it's manageable. Obviously it is, because, you know, I have a full-time role already, but not doing illustration, and I still manage to do this illustration stuff with, you know, having a little bit of a life on the side. I do spend time with the family and visit friends and things like that every now and again, as much as I can. You know, I still, you know, want to get this done and things like that. Yeah, so it's very important. It's, you know, it's, you know, there have been like kind of opportunities of working with people and things, not exactly paid for, but could be, that I've decided now, because I want to keep going on these things, because these are important. You know, this could be a book, obviously, that I could print, and yeah, you know, it's important for me. So yeah, you know, I mentioned before, you know, doing my Tuesday streams. So yeah, every Tuesday I do a stream, and it's just me kind of painting, and just chatting in general. It's just a chillax stream, a chill stream. Yeah, and you know, you might see me painting something like this. Yeah, well, I'm working on this at the moment, so you may see me work on this piece. Hopefully I'm done by this weekend. This piece here is very close, and then I've got to do my Christmas painting. So you may see this on that Tuesday, or you may see my next painting. Yeah, and I'm always, you know, moving on to the next painting. You know, if something's, you know, up with a painting, or something's maybe off or wrong or something, I do sometimes come back to it and fix it up and things like that. I will like seek advice with some paintings and things to see, you know, what I can improve and how I can improve it. Yeah, which I always do. I always try to do that as much as I can. But yeah, it's depending on the time I have too. Because my main focus is keeping this YouTube channel, you know, alive. So, you know, with that, some weeks I am, you know, weeks ahead, and I'm capable of keeping up with the videos, and I've got time to, you know, go back and tweak some arts that I want to get out there. and some other things that I've got need to go going on, like for instance the typesetting and the editing for this book as well. I've still got that to do. Once all the pages are finished, I'm slowly doing it when I do find time. It is a wee bit challenging here and there, but I manage to find time every now and again and set time aside for that to do some other things, as well as also my learning. Pushing forward and learning new things, and making sure I'm kind of on the right track, and moving myself forward to get better pieces of art, and better being better overall illustrator. Just constantly moving forward with that, and that means like I like to watch Chew streams. I like to do schoolism as well. So just making a plan of action of how I can watch those, because it is challenging to watch, especially when I feel like just kind of painting and listening to music most nights. When I will actually schedule in listening to those, and trying to kind of fit in those kind of learning sessions. Same with like me developing some of my people drawing skills, and things like that. I always try and schedule those in. I used to be at every night at like 9 p.m. I would draw like people for 20 minutes or something before I go to bed, or like early in the morning some weeks or something like that. I'd set that up. That'll work for a little bit. It depends. It did work, and I kept on moving forward with that. But yeah, it does get kind of hard to keep up with, because you've got so many other projects, so many other things to do. It's hard for me to kind of make an extra half an hour out of like 2 or 3 hours or things like that. It would somehow come with sacrifices, or kind of hard decisions here if I was to do that. So yeah, trying to keep that going too, my moving forward. With that, what I'm doing at the moment was the side projects, like for instance, I think it was last year. Yeah, last year I did the texture studies. I just did, finished the project, and then I was like, oh, I'll do some texture studies for a stream, so I did that. Then I moved on to a character, and I used some of those kind of textures there that I was kind of painting, and applied it to some of the clothes he was wearing and things like that. That really helped. I have to, and you know, earlier this year I did a cowbug creature thing that was for Inktober. I did the drawing, and then I did the texture and everything like that on top of the painting of it, the illustration of it. And yeah, I was learning things on that. I was learning, I'm still learning backgrounds and things like that. That's always challenging, especially when I'm going from painting this kind of background with the grass and the bushes, and the kind of those dark green colors, like earthy kind of grounds, and yeah, going from that to painting a desert kind of a scene. It is, it's really changing gears, so it did help to go do that, get some learning done on that kind of thing, and try and learn something new doing there. I'm always like trying to challenge myself, either where it's like, well, this may be a challenging pose or drawing or painting, but I still want to, get it done, get it painted, or get the pose right. And, it works out in the end, and then, I've got that in my toolbox, that I've done that before. I've painted a desert before. and I've done it the best I can. I think I learned a few things from that experience of creating my cowbug, thing. So, doing that, taking the time out to actually do something else has, it does teach me something new. It does help me, and I can bring what I did learn in that painting or that illustration that I did, bring it into this book. They're just taking some time off to learn some stuff. Sometimes it does really help to improve my painting and things like that further down the track. And also doing these daily drawings in my sketchbook. I think that's a good thing to keep up with. It does help me keep drawing and constantly trying to draw something and creating something rather than just sitting there and being like, what should I draw today, and deciding out of a top of a hat what to draw. I have a word there that guides me towards a drawing of some sort. It drives me towards a decision to do of what to draw. So it's helpful to have that word. I have a word every day that I make up. I make it up on usually the Thursday or the Friday afternoon. I make a list of the next week's words that I'm going to draw from Monday to Friday, Thursday, 4 days a week. I have to chop and change it sometimes, but 4 days a week is a doable thing. Like if I miss Wednesday, I can still do Thursday, Friday, or if I miss like 2 or 3 days, I can then change it to have it on a Saturday and Sunday. It all depends. I still want like the 4 drawings, and then I post it to Instagram. I do the 4 drawings, and then I do the 2 posts of my streams, and that is usually a weekly tips, and then a stream video that I share on the Instagram. It's been helpful to share them. I've had people that like them. I've gained a few followers from just sharing some of my drawings and video thumbnails, just sharing those, and those slowly help me to gain a little followers, which isn't my main goal. It's not my main goal to get all these followers, but it is nice to see that someone out there is enjoying seeing this content, which is good. Every day is different, obviously. Some days are really quick drawings that just whipped up and done. Other days they are well thought out, well planned, well drawn, and maybe gone a extra length. Some days. It all depends. Like my Inktober, not every day is the same. Some inks are more detailed than others. However, they kind of have a little consistency. I think I'm looking at possibly expanding this drawing and making the drawing with more detail and things like that, because I tend to do like 15-minute drawings or try and get it done within the first 15 minutes of my break, where one day a week, or just try it one day where I end up just creating it and drawing it, expanding on it, maybe making it a whole page worth in size. Just expanding on it, spending more than just 15 minutes on it. Maybe it could be that I only get some of the drawing done and then I post it that day, and then maybe I work the rest of it the next day or something. We'll see where it goes. Excuse me. But yeah, I move forward with it. And you know, if I miss a day, I just keep going. You know, if I miss like posting it on a Wednesday or something, I just post it on the Thursday and Friday, and keep moving forward. If you know, if I actually miss drawing it or something like that, I move forward and do it the next day. I think I've had an Inktober where I missed a day of drawing it. Mostly, usually like, it would be at some ridiculous time like midnight, and it'd be like, oh, I haven't done my ink, and do my ink at like the last minute, like midnight or something. I think I've had one or two of those before, but I'm usually pretty good with it, you know, always doing a day. But yeah, if I do miss a day, I just keep going with it. I'm not like, oh, um, I can't keep up, you know, I give up, you know. It's the same with like my YouTube channel. I have, you know, when I was kind of just starting out, like planning to do a video each week or something, there would be a week I missed or something, when I was kind of starting out. There'd be like a scheduled day I'll be making a video or something, but I missed it because of something. But I keep moving forward, you know. It's like, well, okay, well, I didn't make it this day, I'll make it the next day. It's like I couldn't stream last Friday because of reasons, so I did it on the Saturday instead, and it came out on the Sunday. It's not my usual, but I still, you know, managed to decide on the day, well, no, not tonight, I'll do it another night. When I got like a sore throat, and I couldn't really talk too much, I decided I had my streams on Tuesday that night. I was like, nah, I can't do it, so I did it like the next night or something like that. But yeah, it's always, you know, always constantly chopping and changing what I do. But always, you know, move forward and make sure I'm heading towards my goal and things like that. So hopefully, you know, you've enjoyed me chatting about these things here and there. This is page 6 of my book, if I haven't told you as of yet. It is, you know, have kind of revisited it. So this is a revisited version of it. I've come back quite a few months later, and I've kind of retouched it. So you'll see it go in this video into a playlist that it's meant to go into. So if you want to see like the whole video series from me painting page 1, part 1, part 2, blah blah blah, of me actually painting this, you'll probably see it in the playlist that you can see on my channel. And you can do that with all my pages. They should all be there. They kind of, it's, you know, each video is not like, they don't kind of make sense together. Sometimes, you know, it's one video could be me chatting to some guy about some artist around out in the world about something, and this video is about me moving forward. So they kind of, you know, they're not like all aligned together, but you know, the actual painting in the background is the same thing. You know, it's moving forward from the start. But however, you know, listen to those playlists as well. You know, they're all helpful. They're all different, obviously. You know, there are some where I'm with artists, and like these ones where I'm not with artists. And you know, I don't feel I could be as exciting, I guess, as having an artist in. But yeah. Anywho, we're about 34 minutes in. And yeah, it's been pretty good so far. You can see me, I'm editing some of the background elements at the moment. I'm back and forth between what I'm editing. It all it all feels like, it all depends on what I feel like doing. Sometimes I can kind of sit there and um, I can keep working on like one certain element for a certain period of time, like 2 or 3 hours or something like that. Other times I do need to kind of go everywhere, dabble in a little bit of background, dabble in a bit of character, dabble in a bit of fur, here and there. As you can see, sometimes, here I'm kind of focusing a little bit more on his fur, and now I'm going towards like his mouth area, and then you see me kind of move forward onto other areas as well. Yeah, so that's the main thing. It's really cool. But yeah, kind of move forward on different things. Here and there, focus more on the character, trying to get the pose right. There was something coming back to the piece I felt was actually really good about coming back to it. I think, I fixed the pose up a little bit more. It makes it seem like the cat is actually questioning him a bit more rather than his kind of static pose. It wasn't really saying a lot. It did, get me me kind of editing here. You can kind of see it took me a little bit of attempts to try and get this pose working right. Trying to get things underway. And some points it's like it's getting worse. But I decide on what options I've got, and I keep going on it. Yeah, and it keeps working. So yeah, I felt I've gotten the pose right. I've achieved what I needed to achieve. So that's the main thing. Yeah, awesome. Well, if you did, check out this video, I really do appreciate it. It's awesome that you've chillaxed with me for about 40 minutes, whether you've watched this while you've been painting, or you just kind of chillax and watch me kind of paint, and just chatted, just listen to me chat and things like that. That's awesome. However you watch this, I'm really appreciative of it. Um, yeah, I usually watch my own stuff while I'm painting and things like that, or I'm watching Schoolism, or I'm just kind of listening to my own music. It all depends what I listen to, what I decide to do. Usually I don't kind of paint while listen to nothing. I don't kind of go silent, listen to nothing while I paint. There are times where I'm focused that I don't listen to anything and just kind of send there painting. But usually I do kind of listen to something while I'm painting and creating stuff. But yeah, that's the way it is. So hopefully, you did learn something today about, keeping on moving forward. Keep going, keep creating, no matter what. If you need to take a break, you take a break. It's there's no there's no right way for it, I guess. So, you know, you gotta keep moving, you gotta keep going no matter what happens. Um, and just keep creating towards your goals. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in, and yeah, thank you. Have a good one, everyone. See you in the next video. Goodbye.